conversation about the equation of a line. So in addition to that slope-intercept formula that we learned, that's once again y equals mx plus b, there is actually another way to write an expression for the linear function. So I'm going to look at this example here. Given a line of slope -4, passes through the point 2, comma 2, find the equation of the line using the definition of the slope. Do you remember the slope definition? Sing the song. Slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Good. This time I've given you a point, so I've given you x1, y1. But I'm trying to find an equation, and an equation that allows you and I to choose any value we want. So to denote any value we want, I'm just going to use x and y. And I'm going to make this my x sub 2 and y sub 2. Okay? So plugging this into my formula now, slope equals y sub 2, which is y, minus y sub 1, which is -2, all over x sub 2, which is x, minus x sub 1, which is 2. Okay, and this of course simplifies to y plus 2 all over x minus 2. Great. Now the key thing here is that the slope is equal to -4, so I'm just going to put -4 on the left-hand side. And now what I'd like to do is just rearrange this fraction. I'm going to move the denominator from the right side to the left side, so division becomes multiplication. So -4 times x minus 2 in a bracket, and that equals to y plus 2. Okay? And sometimes people will reverse this around, put the y value part on the left, and then the x value part on the right. But this, friends, is what we have as another form of an equation of a line. This is also an equation of the line. This form has a special name too. It's called the slope point form graph. The slope point form has both the slope and the coordinates of a point that lie on the line can be easily identified by the equation. So if I were to graph this out again, 2 comma -2, here we go. The slope is -4, so 1 to the right, 4 down, or 1 to the left, 4 up. All right, 1 to the left, 4 up. And here's your equation. Okay? Now, you're like, this form looks kind of messy. Fair enough, fair enough. But you know what? It is the same as the slope-intercept form, because now all I need to do is do some algebra, and I can rewrite this in slope-intercept form. So let me expand. So -4x, and then -4 times -2 is +8. And then I'll subtract 2 on both sides. So 8 minus 2 is 6. And this, I think, makes sense too, because look, the slope is still -4. And do you see here that the y-intercept is, that's right here at 6. Beautiful. It's the same thing, okay? Same thing. So let's try to now develop a general formula for the slope point form of the equation of line. Okay? Once again, I've got 2 points here, okay? And I'm going to call one x1, y1, the other one x and y. And remember, the idea is the slope is equal to m, so slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Remember, my x sub 2, y sub 2 is this coordinate here. Okay, what do we do before? Well, we multiply both sides by the denominator. And a lot of times we just switched it so that the y value is on the left side and the x value is on the right side. And there you have it. So the slope point form of the equation of a linear function is this. It's a line that passes through the point x1 comma y1 and has slope m, and it's found by using this formula, y minus y1 equals to m bracket x minus x sub 1. There you go. I'd memorize this too. You'll use it again in calculus. Alright, so example number 6 here, I'm going to ask you to find the equation of a line with slope equal to 4, and then passing through this point. Okay. I did describe this thing called general form, which I haven't actually showed you yet, but I will quickly talk to you about it. It's not that big a deal because most people don't really like it, but I'll show it to you anyways. Okay. So with this equation, find the slope-intercept form. We're going to use y equals mx plus b. M in this case is, 4. And remember, in this case, you have to solve for b by plugging in the point. So I'll plug in the point 2, 5. Hopefully you remember how to do this. This equals to -3. So therefore, the equation of this line, y equals to 4x minus 3. Okay. Now, by the way, in general form, what is required in general form is that all the terms are on one side and the other side is a 0. And not only that, the x value coefficient, that means the number in front, must be positive. So there are just some rules to make it look a different way. So if I want all this, I'm going to move all the terms to one side. So now I'm going to go, let's do the general form. Move all the terms to one side. So 4x minus y minus 3. Is the x value of the coefficient positive in this case? Yeah. So done. Done. That's it. You're done. Okay? That will be general form. I mean, you can rewrite this with the x on the other side too, right? You can do it like this, that's fine as well. But as long as everything's on one line and all that. Okay? Oh, by the way, I should make sure there's one more caveat. There should be no fractions as well. For general form, they don't like having fractions. So if you do, you just have to multiply by the common denominator to remove the fraction. Okay? Let's do slope point form. Now, actually, I think finding the slope point form is much easier in this case, because why? They gave you the slope, they gave you a point. So, remember, y minus y sub 1 equals m bracket x minus x sub 1. Y minus 5, because that's my y sub 1. And then m is 4, x minus 2. And there you go, you're done. Just plug it in, done. Okay. If I wanted you to make this in general form, now you'll have to expand and simplify. So to get general form, now you have to expand. Okay. So now it's just y minus 5 equals to 4x minus 8. And then I move everything to one side, so 4x minus y. I think that's minus 3, I think it is. Negative 8 plus 5. And look at that, same answer as well. Okay? So, can you try this one? Find the equation of a line. It passes through these 2 points. And then I said, write your answer in slope point form first, and then convert it into slope intercept form. Okay, and then if I really wanted to, then I can also ask you, then convert to general form. Just for some fun. Okay, so what do I need? For a slope point form, I need the slope. Let's find the slope. Slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Did you get -6? Nice. So now with the slope point form of the equation of the line, we're just going to replace the y sub 1 and the m along with the x sub 1. So y minus, oh, you're like, which one's x sub 1? It doesn't really matter actually, so choose whichever one you like. I'm going to choose t just because I want to. So the y value, -1. M is -6, x minus 2. I can simplify this just a little bit, and here is my slope point form. Now, if you chose the other point, if you chose r1 comma 5, you would have found y minus 5 equals to negative 6x minus 1. Okay? Okay, and they'll give you the exact same equation. Okay, now, can you convert them to slope-intercept form? So to do that, just expand and simplify. Expand to convert to slope-intercept form. So, if I distribute negative 6x, negative 6 times 2, or negative 2 is positive 12. We'll move the 1 to the other side, and look, here's my equation. And by the way, if you do it this way too, with the other equation, I will quickly do it. Look, 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 you get the exact same thing. Okay. And then finally, to general form, move them all to one side. X plus y minus 11 equals to 0. Done. Okay, last page. Here we go. Now I want you to graph out these things. Ooh, 4 of them to try. Okay. These are questions that are written in what's called general or standard form. That's really hard for us because it's really difficult for me to actually graph. Now, maybe it's nice because you're like, I have no fractions, but I think using the slope point form or also the slope y-intercept form is actually much easier. But I'll show you both for at least part A, and then the rest I'll let you try. Okay? So for part A, I'm going to use what I call the intercept method first. If I can find the 2 intercepts, then I can plot 2 points, and then I can graph out the line. To find intercepts, once again, you let x equal to 0 to find the y-intercept. So to find y-intercept, you let x equal 0. Now if I do that in the equation, look what happens. 4 times 0 minus 3y minus 24 equals 0. I can move the negative 24 to the side. I get y equals to negative 8. Good. So I found the y-intercept is negative 8. Plot. I can also find the x-intercept, which you'll need. Do this by letting y equals 0. So 4x minus 3 times 0 minus 24 equals 0. So 4x actually equals to, I think in this case, 24. And x equals to 6. So here you go. And then, boom. There's your line. Okay. Now, if you didn't like this method, you can either change this to, probably not point slope form, that's hard, but I would change this to slope intercept form. And if I asked you to do that, all you need to do is isolate the y value. So, if I keep the y term on the left side and move everything else to the right side, and then finally I'll divide everything by negative 3, so negative 4 divided by negative 3 is just 4/3. 24 divided by negative 3 is 8. And look, if I did it like this, look, the y-intercept's still negative 8. And now my slope is 4/3, so 3 to the right, 4 up. 3 to the right, 4 up. 3 to the right, 4 up. Okay. It works. So, 2 different ways to do it. I'm going to let you try part B and also C and also D, and then double check your answers with me on the graph, and then we'll finish this off with just a quick review of equations that only have one variable. Okay? Alright, go for it. Press pause. 6, 0, 0, comma 4. There is b. Or if you want to change it to y equals mx plus b format, 2/3 x plus 4 2/3. 1, 2, 3 to the right, 2 up. 1, 2, 3 to the right, 2 up. Yeah. Same idea for C. I will find the y-intercept first. So 6 times 0. Got 1, so 0, comma 1. Then I want to find the fraction this time. Ooh, negative 1/3. How about right here? So the line looks something like this. Well, something like this. Well, something like this. There's C. Maybe this one is easier to write this in y equals mx plus b form. I don't know. Positive 3x. Yeah, I think so. 1, right? 1, 2, 3. So, yeah. Once again, both ways will work. You just have to find the one that works for you. And for the last one here, I think in this case, you'll get 0, 0. And you see how in this case, I only got one intercept because it just happened to be both of them are at the origin. That's not good, so maybe changing it into y equals mx plus b is the better way for this one. Negative 5y equals to negative 4x. Y then equals to 4/5 x, and of course plus 0. So now I can go 5 to the right, 4 up, and there's my equation. Okay. Alrighty. Last ones. Can you graph out these? This is a review of Math 9. Remember, if there's only one variable, the line's not slanted. It's either going to be vertical or horizontal. Hopefully you remember that when y equals to 6, the y value is always 6. So you're actually getting a nice horizontal line. You can rewrite this as y equals 0x plus 6 if you like that slope-intercept form. The slope, of course, is 0. The y-intercept equals to 6. And then if I ask you for x equals to negative 5, that's where all the x values equal negative 5. Here we get this nice vertical line. And then ultimately for parts C and D, you have to do a little bit of quick algebra, but nonetheless, I know you can do it. 3y equals 6, so y equals to 2. So here we go, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And finally, this one, 2x equals to negative 8, x equals to negative 4. So right here, a vertical line next to the one in B. There you go. That's it for the equation of a line and graphing. Thanks for watching.